never paid any heed to the ancient prophecies. Like fools, we clung to the old hatreds. And fought as we had for generations. Until the day the sky rained fire, and the new enemy came among us. We stand now upon the brink of destruction, for the reign of chaos has come at last.
Holy shit, brothers. Holy shit, brothers. Hello, my friends. Hello, hello, yes. Welcome again to yet more series. I've gotten better about finishing my series, so I just now, about a couple hours ago, finished my StarCraft 1 series. But since I feel like now that I have some help from somebody named DZB to help me, Lord DZB, to help me with the campaign, I'm going to edit the campaign for StarCraft 2, so I'm going to play it, but I'm going to play it with my own special mods, my own data package, because reasons. So instead of just rushing straight to the StarCraft 2 campaign, I've decided to skip StarCraft 2 for now, and I'm going to play WarCraft. So, we're going to do all of it. It's been a long time since I played this game, and since it's been so long, I've decided that I'm going to start with the prologue. But before I get into all of that, I like to do my intro and stuff, so here we go. Welcome. This is a new-ish game. It's not super new. It was originally created about 2007, 2008, I think. When I played it, it was brand spanking new, but I don't remember the exact year. You know, I better look this up. This is the kind of thing where there's no reason not to, right? ...2002, excuse me, not 2008, what was I thinking? Okay, so technically speaking, for those of you who are not hardcore history buffs about video games, most of you, you'll come here, you'll want me to just immediately rush into the campaign, right? Immediately. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to instead spend a little bit of time talking about this game, because this game had quite a bit of impact on me, again, as a kid. Because when I played StarCraft 1, I map edited for StarCraft 1, but when this game came out, brand new, I didn't map edit for it right away. I only started map editing for it about 2006, I think. I was pretty active on the ladder. I was pretty high. I was primarily an undead 4v4 player, and there were a lot of customs. That was when Dota 1 came out. That was when Sheep Tag came out. That was when all kinds of other things came out. And for a couple of years, I didn't have access to a computer. I'm not going to get into exactly why now, but let's just say that from about the age of 11 to about the age of 16 or so, I didn't actually own a computer. So the only time I played video games was when I managed to sneak into my school late at night, into the computer lab, where I would sneak in through the window and play video games in the computer lab from very late in the night to early in the morning, when all of the teachers would show up, and then they'd be like, "Hey, how long has he been there?" And I would just say, "Oh, not very long, only a couple minutes," when in reality I'd been there all night, and they would never be able to know the difference. Good times, good times. That was how I managed to play some games. It was by sneaking into the computer lab late at night. Bit of a security hazard nowadays. I think normal people, if you were to sneak into your school late in the night, it would be considered kind of a bad thing. But in my day, it was considered totally normal and totally fine, as long as they didn't know about it. The rule of the law must be upheld, especially while it's being broken. So those were not necessarily great times, but, you know, the times that were good were times when I was playing this. Hello everybody, yes, welcome. That's right, yes, I like to do an intro on the first episode of every series. I don't do it for every episode throughout the whole series, I just do it for the first, because it's kind of like the initiation. I treat it kind of like a job interview a little bit, sort of, you know? So, we take our time, we sit back, we smoke some weed, drink some coffee, hide from the snow. For those of you who know me already, you likely know me from the Hive Workshop, very specifically to do with this game. Every time I've ever made reference to the Hive Workshop, it's to do with this game. Some of you might know me from the Barotrauma modding Discord, or the Barotrauma sub-builder Discord. I'm quite active there. Some of you might know me from my time having spent playing StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2, and this game online on the ladder. Some of you might know me from my time spent playing World of WarCraft for the decade or so that I was around. Some of you might know me from my time playing with you in the multiplayer to do with Space Marine 2. Made some new friends there. Some of you might know me from my time spent on Red Solstice 2, since I was around on there quite a bit as well. Some of you might know me from my time spent playing Command & Conquer, specifically the Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath mod Discord. One Vision. Some of you might know me still from other games like Halo, when I was online Halo a lot. Some of you might know me from my time spent playing GTFO. Some of you really hardcore old school veterans might know me from my time during the terrible airplane wars in Grand Theft Auto 5, during the era of the terrible airplane wars. I won't get into what that is now, but maybe I've already talked about it before. The terrible airplane wars were terrible. It was awful. It was a dark time. It was the end of multiplayer becoming a big thing for Grand Theft Auto 5. It was the end of multiplayer for me. Some of you might know me from my time having spent playing Diablo. Very specifically, lately I've been starting a Diablo 3 series to do all of the single-player campaign story stuff, which I've been getting myself psyched up and ready to do for quite a while. Some of you might know me from my Aliens, the Dark Descent series, one of my first ever drunk Let's Plays, drinking huge amounts of beer and playing Aliens on the hardest difficulty was some of the silliest, most hilarious fun I've had in years. With my StarCraft 1 Let's Play, I wasn't drunk. I was just doubling it up on the weed. I don't tend to drink beer on days when I'm working. I only save that for days when I'm not working. Welcome everybody to a new series. This is a new series I'm going to do. It's probably going to take me a while. It's probably going to be a series for quite a while. I am trying to drop these games once I finish the single player content. Like, I didn't end up doing any Deserts of Crack Cocaine multiplayer content. I didn't end up doing that. I don't know why. There just wasn't really anybody there. It was kind of like a skeleton crew, you know? Empty, dead. But this game's multiplayer is very alive and very kicking. But it's time to talk about this game and its controversies. It has controversies. It has lots of controversies. It's referred to colloquially by the community as refunded. WarCraft 3 refunded. And I'm aware that there are people who are very upset about what happened to Reforged. But to be fair, I feel like I have a little bit of bias towards Reforged. Maybe that normal people don't. Yes, Blizzard's bad. Yes, Bobby Kotick is bad. Yes, I am too also waiting for Blizzard to die so that I can steal all their 3D model assets and use them in any way I see fit forever without needing to care about copyrights because Blizzard will be dead and gone and everyone will be sad. But as far as Reforged is concerned, I can't help but feel a little bit responsible for the fact that Reforged even happened. For those of you who don't know, I was going through the process of creating something before Reforged existed. Before it was even called Reforged, it was called WarCraft 3 Remastered. Actually, that was its first name. It became Reforged later, 8 months later. That's the name that everyone refers to it as. But I heard about it probably almost 2 years before anybody else did. Because if you paid attention in the Hive Workshop forums, which most of you hardcore video gamers probably don't, because it's a pretty obscure set of forums. Even I barely paid attention to them, and I'm like a Hive Workshop lunatic. Have you guys seen my Hive Workshop profile? Do you ever go to my resources section and check my WarCraft 3 resources? Have you ever seen some of the weird fucking shit that I made for WarCraft 3? I made some weird shit, brothers. I made some weird shit. I'm gonna insert a collage, if I remember to try and edit, to show the weird stuff that I'm making. Instead of showing the main menu, I'll probably just show a bunch of pictures. And I made a lot of weird shit, man. Like, it was good shit, but it was weird, you know? Like, it was the stuff that you looked at it and you said, what the fuck was he smoking when he made that? And you know what the answer is? It's the same thing I'm smoking right now. So, back in the old days, before anybody knew about Reforged, and before anyone had even bothered to rename it from Reforged, from Remastered to Reforged, as in, it was at that time, it was being called on the inside, WarCraft 3 Remastered. For those of you who know any better, who were paying attention to those forums, you would know that I was creating my own project at that time, which was called Reanimated. In fact, it was fairly secret, because I only told about 7 or 8 people ever about it. The only hint that you would get to it would be from my assets with their special names, because I usually gave things special names. And anything in my assets list that has the name Reanimated in it is essentially me doing what Blizzard ended up doing itself later with Reforged. I took the critters. That was how I started. I took the critters and I reanimated the shit out of them. I changed their polys, I changed their animations. I changed a lot about them. And when I was done with them, after 700 or 800 changes, I would call them just reanimated. So for example, I made one of my first ever really major reanimation projects. Not done through coding or through bar graph manipulation or through slider manipulation, but through physical handmade animating done by hand, was something called the reanimated albatross. It was one of my first ever attempts at making a very special model. It was the mesh of the chicken, the albatross, the druid of the talon, and some of the animations of the druid of the talon bird form, where I created an albatross that could fly, it could walk on land, and it could swim. It had 3 sets basically. It had 3 versions of the data. Where when it was in water, on the ground, it basically either was on the ground or it was in the air. It was 2 units, but it was 3 units worth of model editing data, really, because then you have what are called water rings, and then you have what are called amphibious animations. And so I created this bird, right? It was from the bird's original mesh, but it was not the bird. It had its guts ripped out and replaced by Druid of the Talon animations. And when I was done, I was really proud of it, because it was really cool. To me, the idea of a bird flying in the sky as a critter, walking around on the ground like a normal bird landed, but then also being able to go into the water and swim around like a duck. To me, it was just amazing at the time, data-wise. Normal people would be like, that's not very interesting. Lots of video games can do that. No, there's almost no video game that does that. When you think about birds, what is a bird in the forest? It flies around, like in that one game, the Sons of the Forest or whatever, Forest. What is birds in that game? They don't do any of that shit. They never land. They fly forever. Most video games have birds that fly forever. That's how WarCraft 3 did it. That's how Age of Empires did it. That's how Call of Duty did it. That's how Halo 1 did it. That's how a lot of games do it. Even The Last of Us was one of the first games ever to be like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if birds started on the ground, but then when you got close to them, they would take off? The Last of Us was one of the first games to come up with the idea of actual birds that once they take off from the ground, they fly around, but they still fly around forever. So to me, making birds that would randomly via trigger timers land when there was nothing hostile around, and then when something was hostile was around, they would take off, and when there wasn't anything hostile around, they would just go wherever they wanted on the ground, just paddling around. And it was all hand animated, and I worked really hard on it. And normal people would be like, why are you spending so much time coding, 3D manipulating, animating by hand an albatross? And the answer to that was because I was making a game about Murlocs, and so Murlocs would hunt the albatross. So the albatross was to me, it was a big video game mechanic. It was a survival game where you had to use the Raider's ensnare ability to land your ensnare onto the albatross before they could go too far out to sea. Because if they did, you would get attacked by sharks. And then that was the second problem, was that there is no shark model in WarCraft 3, but there is in World of Warcraft. So with the help of Chris and a few other people, mostly Chris, I ended up bringing in sharks into Warcraft 3, and that was a big thing to me too, making sharks, animating stuff. And then I started animating other predators because I decided I wanted the island of Murlocs to be hell on Earth itself. So there was T-Rex, there was mosasaurs in the water. This is 2015, by the way, so this is like hell a long time ago. And there was all kinds of nonsense going on in that Warcraft 3 map. I spent a lot of time playing Warcraft 3 in those days and editing Warcraft 3. And so I made a lot of stuff. I made the reanimated crabs, I made the reanimated trees, I made the reanimated albatross. And about a year after that is when I first started hearing about Warcraft 3 Remastered. And then it was about 2 years after that that I got to witness what you all got to witness, which was Warcraft 3 Reforged. And then you had the controversy. The controversy was that they promised they would remaster all the cinematics. It was promised that they would fix some of the levels, fix some of the cheesy triggering. There was a promise that a lot of the models would be like epic and everybody would love them. And then when they saw some of them, even myself included, when they saw certain ones like the Hydra and they realized this is uglier than shit. But even worse than that, on launch day, I remember, because I fired this up on launch day, they had anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds of delay to your micro, right? That's how bad the servers were at the start. Like, when I first went to go and try a Blade Master rush in a 1v1 against an AI, because I was going to, like, record it and stuff, I had, like, 8 seconds delay on Windwalk. I had like 8 seconds delay on right clicks. Launch day was really bad. Like, this game should have been left in the oven a little bit longer before they released it, because when I played it, 8 seconds of delay is essentially unplayable. And I was running everything on max graphics. I was running it by myself, single player against an AI. It should never have been that delayed. And it was really unfortunate that it was. And so that's a big reason why a lot of people on day one just said, fuck it, I'm gone. And they were so mad that they never came back. And they never came back because they went from loving all that single-player content that stopped working to 8 seconds delay on right clicks. And so to them, from their perspective, they essentially abandoned it and left for better things. We'll find out how much delay I have in this game now. I'm pretty sure after a couple of years I left it alone, and sure enough, I think it's probably been patched up and fixed a little bit. It looks a lot cleaner. Things are moving a lot smoother. But people wondered about this game. People were like, what did they change? Like, why would the campaigns all stop working? Why would the models from the old days stop working? Why were custom campaign mods that were made specifically for a specific version of the game not working? Shouldn't have all of this been thought about and considered when they were doing it? And I have a sad but true answer to give you about that. And the truth of the matter is, based on my time editing Warcraft 3, which was a lot, and based on my time editing StarCraft 2, which is also a lot, I have a deep dark secret to tell you all about Warcraft Reforged. Warcraft Reforged is not based on the Warcraft 3 engine. It's based on the StarCraft 2 engine. They updated it. And we know that because the three-dimensional model files, the type, is the same. For those of you that have not been playing this game or editing StarCraft 2 wouldn't know, very long time ago, as in at least 3 or 4 years ago, they created something in StarCraft 2. It's called the Warcraft 3 art mod. And in it they have everything, all of Warcraft 3. They had all the models, they had all the spell effects. Some of them were kind of glitchy, but some of them were good. And the tragedy of this whole thing is that, again, I can't help but feel like I'm a little bit responsible because quite a few years ago, 15 plus years ago, was when I started working on something called Murloc Island Survival 2, which was my StarCraft 2 Galaxy Editor map equivalent to my WarCraft 3 map editor equivalent. So my WarCraft 3 map being Murloc Island Survival and my StarCraft 2 map being Murloc Island Survival 2. I had abandoned the WarCraft 3 engine in favor of the StarCraft 2 engine because StarCraft 2's engine supports the rising and the falling of water. Most people don't know this, but in StarCraft 2, when I get to it, we're going to come to a level. It's one of my favorite levels. It's the level that made me fall in love with StarCraft 2. There's a level where lava rises and falls, and if your units are on the low ground, they take damage and they die. To me, this was amazing. I purposely threw units into the lava on purpose to watch them because they play a different death animation, and thinking how amazing that was, and how amazing the fact that there were even different types of death animations. I didn't care that the Zerg was killing me with Mutalisks. I wanted to study the lava. I looked at the lava, I watched the lava rise and fall, and the moment that I got defeated on that map, I exited StarCraft 2 and went straight to the Galaxy Editor. And never came back, never really looked back. When they made Reforged, they took it from the StarCraft 2 engine. And they did that because it was easier, I think, for them, data-wise. They could control it better. So that's why the models in WarCraft 3 Reforged are M3 files instead of MDX files. Because there's a whole story of what WarCraft 3 models even are, but basically some of the earliest models like Diablo 2 and stuff I don't know that well, but other models like this game used to use what were called MDX files. Then World of Warcraft came out, and that game uses what are called M2 files. And then StarCraft 3 came out, and StarCraft 3 uses what are called M3 files. M3 files are also used by some of the Hearthstone models, some of the World of Warcraft models later got an update from M2 to M3, and others are used in Diablo 3 and in Heroes of the Storm. And now here, so M3 files are used a lot. M3 files are loved by Blizzard. Blizzard loves M3 files. They used them for Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, and then they used them here too. And so when they changed this game, they didn't just change the game, they basically tore its guts out. That's why the WarCraft 3 editor of nowadays looks more similar to the StarCraft 2 editor. That's why it uses the same models. That's why it uses the same sound file type. This game isn't WarCraft 3. It's more similar to Heroes of the Storm, in that Heroes of the Storm is a port of StarCraft 2. That's what Diablo 3 is. It's a port of StarCraft 2. This is a port of StarCraft 2. That's the tragedy of it, is that because they did that, people's computers couldn't handle these games because the StarCraft 2 engine is kind of hard on people's computers, or at least for that era of time. I know, because I had a computer that was a bit of a potato, and I brute forced it to make it work. But it didn't want to work, because the StarCraft 2 engine is just hard on your computer. And I think that was probably a mistake. I think that taking the StarCraft 2 editor and turning a random map into WarCraft 3 Reforged was probably a bad idea. That's why it probably turned out so bad. People are going to be like, "Oh, it looks exactly the same. It's not a StarCraft 2 map." It's a StarCraft 2 map, guys. I hate to break it to you. I hate to tell you the truth. I hate to sit here smoking weed, drinking coffee, and being warm and happy, and just relaxing, having a good time. I gotta tell you, this was basically a StarCraft 2 map that got ported. And if you didn't like StarCraft 2, if you couldn't run StarCraft 2, if you had problems on your computer with StarCraft 2, chances are you had problems with this. Why couldn't they just port all of the WarCraft 3 custom maps into WarCraft 3 Reforged? Because it wasn't WarCraft 3 Reforged. It's StarCraft 2 map. I hate to break it to you. In fact, for a little while even, when you opened the WarCraft 3 Reforged map editor, what they call their Reforged editor, when you opened map files, the map file type was sc2.map. When you open Heroes of the Storm maps, they're called sc2 maps. When you open the meshes for the Diablo 3 randomly generated platforms, they're called sc2 maps. There are even some places in Hearthstone that use that designation. Maps, sc2 map. sc2 map file type is everywhere. And the fact that they used it to create WarCraft 3 Reforged is a little bit sad. I think it would have been smarter and probably easier on people's computers to have just created new, optimized, slightly higher quality, but still moderate, medium quality, medium poly models and assets. Kind of like what I did, just taking the original classic assets and reanimating them and fixing them up and adding a little bit of mesh to them here and there. It would have been smarter to have just done that and then created your own. For those of you that don't know, there was a way back in the old WarCraft 3. They're called archives. You see, WarCraft 3 works on the principle of everything comes from these, what were called archives. You would call them archives. Normal, everyday coders would call them archives. But back then, we used to call them MPQs, because that's the file type that they were. They were called MPQs. And inside the MPQ was everything. It was the models, it was the spell effects, it was the buildings, it was the attachments, it was all the three-dimensional stuff. And you can prove this by opening what's called Mangoes, which is a 3D model editing program that you could use to open WarCraft 3 models that otherwise couldn't be opened by other WarCraft 3 model editing tools. You see, not every tool was unique or was the same. Every tool was unique because some models could be opened by some things and not others. A big example being the water elemental, right? The water elemental is like a model in this game that people would open, they would make alterations to, they would save, they would export, and they would find this giant mess inside their editors because the elemental uses what are called animated textures, which is like a fancy way of saying screen or video, because basically what happens is the texture is on a mesh and the mesh is given instructions. For example, a really famous version that almost everybody who's ever played video games would know is tank treads. Tank treads, yes, the infamous tank treads. What is a tank tread? It's the belt that's on like a tank, you know, that allows locomotion, belt-based traction, like tractors and stuff, and crawlers and science fiction undersea bed crawlers, you know, like that kind of shit. In video games, there's a couple of ways to animate them, but the cheapest and least expensive way on your computer is an animated texture, where the mesh doesn't actually move, the mesh doesn't change, the mesh doesn't form or reform or do anything. It's only the texture moves, and the texture is given the instructions to move downwards, because most of them are vertically aligned. So the same with StarCraft 2 siege tanks as well. The texture is animated to go downwards. Then once it reaches the bottom of the texture picture, it uses a second set of coordinate instructions to move itself instantly to the top of the texture again so that it can slide down the texture again at the same speed it did the first time, with the last set of coordinates being the bottom of the second pass, which means that once the instructions are over, it replays them again by instantly moving it to the top and sliding it down, instantly moving it back to the top, sliding it down, over and over again. And that's how you get the illusion of tracks moving on a unit. This game uses animated textures for tracks. This StarCraft 2 did it. Animated textures are everywhere. Anytime that you play Diablo 3 and you look at the portals, the way the portals wiggle, the way the portals have motion and movement in them, even though the outer ring doesn't actually change, that's because it uses animated textures. There's a lot of animated textures in a lot of games, but they achieve different things and do different things. And in this particular game, it's used for the water elemental to spin the mesh. And so as the mesh spins like a circle, the water elemental appears to move. But it also uses a second animated texture which changes the pictures. And the pictures are based on the same pictures that were used for the game's water. And so it made the model look as though it was made of the same thing that the terrain on the ground that had water was made of. And it creates a really neat illusion. Really nice consistency. Water elementals are everywhere in World of Warcraft 2 as well. You see them everywhere. Water elementals are, the model is everywhere. Any kind of elemental that floats around and has two fists and no face, that's literally based on the water elemental. It just is. Sorry, bros. When I played this game, there were a lot of different custom maps. Custom maps were a big thing. This game made one particular custom map known as Dota. And in that came a new game called Dota 2 that everybody loves and admires heavily, and has absolutely nothing controversial or mean or rude to say about it. And is totally not one of Blizzard's biggest ever blunders of all time. Maybe even the biggest blunder. Valve stealing away Dota 2 from Blizzard basically damaged Blizzard permanently. It did permanent damage. Blizzard never really came back, because when Blizzard did that, when that happened to Blizzard, Blizzard changed and became all of a sudden very anti-mod friendly. They became so very anti-mod, and I can tell you, it was very different from the culture of StarCraft 2 when it was new, because they wanted everybody to make content. They wanted everybody to make StarCraft 2 models. If you were willing to try, they would give you the plugins. They leaked the plugins, they helped you. It was the same with this game, apparently. A little bit before my time to do with exploring the companies, but still probably very true, because years and years later there were tools coming out. People were coding for it, people were making damage engines for it, people to this day are making WarCraft 3 models, even for Reforged. And people really enjoyed their time spent on WarCraft 3. WarCraft 3 was not just a game, it was like a simulator. You created your scenarios, you changed your numbers, you did your math, you inputted your codes, and you invented crap. And what that crap even was could be almost infinite, as far as long as you were creative enough. If you're creative enough to create the 3D models as well, you could just turn a single map into like another video game. Like an entire video game all by itself. Some maps. That's what Dota was. That's why it got turned into Dota 2 on Steam, which you can play on Steam for free. The paywalls are only for loot. Loot doesn't do anything. It's all pure aesthetics. So they make all their money from the aesthetics. But in reality, you can play any character you want. You can do anything you want. A lot of the strategies that worked in Dota 1 work in Dota 2. So your gameplay was very transferable. So if you were good as a character, like for example, I played a lot of a character called Pudge. Pudge was my personal favorite character of all time. It was... Some people think he's kind of lame and kind of stupid and never play him anymore. But in reality, in the old days, he was one of the most broken things ever. And I guess maybe if you feed him too much, he still is. But Pudge was amazing. And Pudge was created in this game. Was originally there was even a time called Pudge Wars, which was a WarCraft 3 custom map where they took the data of Pudge out of Dota and they put it into a map where 5 Pudges on one side and 5 Pudges on the other side would fucking attack each other with Hook. Now you never see that game mode in Dota 2 because honestly they have no reason to... well, maybe it is if you go and change it. But it was amazing. Pudge Wars was amazing, and I played so much Pudge Wars. It was just so much fun. He was hilarious, dodging everyone's hooks. Sometimes you'd have all 5 players trying to hook you. Like it was fucking hilarious, man. And then your allies would hook you mid hook, and so you'd be pulled to the enemy, pulled to your allies, pulled to your enemy, pulled to your allies. It was fucking amazing. You couldn't do shit. You would just be stuck being like ping ponged between 9 people and be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm just gonna sit here and die. It was so much fun having 5 Pudges. Oh my god. That brings back some good memories. Pudge Wars, yes, that was amazing. There was a bunch of really good Warcraft 3 custom maps. There was also a really good one was called Sheep Tag, where you would play as a sheep and you would build farms which would sprout like undead buildings and just suddenly appear out of nowhere, and you were trying to create paths so that you could slide between, so that you could run away from a wolf. And eventually the wolf's model got changed from a dire wolf to the orc raider, and eventually the sheep model got changed from the creep sheep to the cinematic cutscene sheep model that came out later. And so you would just be trying to run away, and that game, Sheep Tag, was an exact reference in many ways to the gameplay of another custom map from StarCraft 1, which was called Cat and Mouse, where the cat and the mouse game was a probe that had 5 health and 5 shields, would be able to create pylons for free, and he was running away from an Ultralisk, which would kill the pylons in 3 hits, but was slowed down by the pylons. And so eventually he could tunnel his way to the probe, because a lot of places were essentially mazes. They were one entrance, one way in, one way out mazes. So eventually the probe would run out of space to run and hide, and would have to do something tricky to get away from the Ultralisk. And it was about using what's called warp micro. And for those of you that don't know what warp micro is this aspect of probes where when buildings are initially constructed, for the first 3 or 4 seconds or so, depending on how long it takes for them to reach pavable terrain, they become unpavable, which means that they can kind of magically move through buildings. And if you use a lot of right clicks all over the place, you can actually micro your probe over quite a few structures. You can actually, in StarCraft 2, you used to be able to do it over huge areas, like 10 or even 15 buildings. So when you're trying to chase the probe as the Ultralisk, when they were really good at warp micro, you couldn't do shit. You would just fucking watch as they fucking magically just went bloop, 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 just phased through all of their own buildings. Some people were so good at it. I remember one person who could warp micro their probe over 100 buildings. And that's amazing, because I could only ever usually do it at about 2 or 3 before my probe would just automatically be like, nope, I'm going to this terrain now, and just like stay there and say fuck it. And in order to do it, you had to do very special right clicks. You couldn't just right click anywhere. You actually had to right click a building But then you also had to right-click terrain behind whatever building it was that you had right-clicked. Because once the probe was over top of the building you had right-clicked, it would want to go somewhere else. And you had to have already clicked ground in the direction that you wanted the probe to go. So the probe would start going that way, but if you'd right-clicked a building again, like say to the other direction, the probe would change its mind and it would go towards that building instead. And so that's how you did it. You exploited a motion where you right-clicked a building, right-clicked terrain, right-clicked a building, and you would repeat. And if you missed one of the terrain right-clicks, then you would just find yourself stuck in like the center of 4 pylons or whatever. And so there was a thing called the Probe Olympics, where you had to do all kinds of weird shit. You had to warp micro around Sunkens, you had to warp micro around Ultralisks. The Ultralisks were being played by players, and so the players, being the obstacles, would try to stop you because they're the players. And once you made it past their Ultralisk, they would basically just be fucked. Oh well, that's all I can do. Like that was my only unit and my only character in the whole friggin' map. And so that's how they could get away with having a whole bunch of different types of terrain where the Ultralisk could sneak around and be an obstacle again somewhere else, which created like a maze. The probes could risk going into that maze to cheese the Olympics, but they were at a very high risk of getting caught by the Ultralisk because they would just patrol around in those areas, and so you'd get killed eventually if you went in there. And so you would try to do the Probe Olympics, and you would try to survive. And one of the last challenges was warp microing over 100 buildings. And it gave you the terrain and the building alignment to do it properly. But if you fucked up on even just one of them, then you would get stuck in a fucking spot where the pylon was invulnerable, and you were stuck in the terrain, and there would be a message written on the terrain on the ground that said, "You made it this far." And it would have like the number on it, the number of pylons. It was pretty funny. And so if you made it through all 100, then you had one final last test, and that last test was this random fucking battlecruiser that just chased you forever, man. You never fucking stopped. It was crazy. You had to basically do almost the entirety of the same. It was almost the same terrain getting there. It was almost like the halfway point is when the battlecruiser would appear, and the battlecruiser would come. And the battlecruiser's trying to chase after you, and you're trying. Now the funny thing is that the battlecruiser's blinded by like a trigger, so it can't attack you until it's practically right on top of you, unlike normal battlecruisers. But it's quite ominous and imposing because you're trying to solve the puzzles faster than a battlecruiser can move, which is only possible if you solve them correctly, because the battlecruiser knows where you are. It's trigger based to basically right click right where you are and kill you eventually once it can see you. And it was really fun. So Cat and Mouse turned into Probe Olympics. Cat and Mouse also turned into Sheep Tag in WarCraft 3. And Sheep Tag turned into all kinds of other nonsense. Like, a lot of nonsense. Just an amazing amount of stuff. There was quite a bit good with WarCraft 3. You know? Like, it was successful for a reason. It was successful for a reason. Why am I not playing? Well, I'm just chilling, talking about WarCraft 3, smoking some weed, you know? Smoking some weed right now, brothers. It's the longest intro ever? Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's a fair comment. It's a fair comment. Ah, yes. That's the stuff, brothers. I'm still just enjoying the high of having finished StarCraft 1. So that's why I'm enjoying it. Now, this game, when I played this game, so this game came out in 2002, right? But when I got this game, it had leaked. It was called the WarCraft 3 Alpha. And for those of you who are hardcore denizens of the internet, shoe on head class denizens. Praise be the shoe. You would know that there was a time back when they had stopped running certain online service games, those games would end up on third-party online servers. Like, for example, Halo. Lots of people know about Halo. Halo is like, oh, you know what Halo is. Halo 1, the first one, died, the online for it, within a couple of years. Because everyone moved from Halo, what was called Halo, to Halo for Combat Evolved for PC. And Halo for Combat Evolved for PC ran basically to this day. Like, there's literally servers that have been running to this day, like, since that came out. And that's why a lot of people made mods for Halo. Halo Combat Evolved for PC. They made mods for it, and those mods kept the game going for a very long time, and to this day, people still play Halo Combat Evolved for PC. The other games that still kept their online running from third-party servers had their own little cults and niches of friends, people who played games that they liked, their friends also liked, and so they would play the games that their friends were playing. And so that was back when there weren't actually that many to choose from, at least not like from certain bandwidths and certain rights. Like nowadays you'd be like, well, what do you want to play? And you'd be like, oh, well, I don't fucking know, there's like 30,000 choices. Back then you had like probably 40 choices at most, if you even owned all those choices. And so during those different eras of time, people were playing what was new. But what was new would only last online for like a couple years before it would shut down. And people would become disappointed and feel sad. And then they would have to go to the third-party servers. Third-party servers kept Age of Empires running. Kept Age of Empires 2 running. Kept Age of Empires 3 running. Kept all the Command & Conquers running. All these online services were basically free. They lived off donations. And they were little cult niche groups of players. And these little groups had mod servers and other things. And some games were friendlier to modders than others. StarCraft 2 is famous because the devs had made the decision to not only give the plugins that they'd use to make StarCraft 2 models, but also tutorials on how to do it to the community. They were talking to the community, they were part of the community, they were listening to the community, they were helping the community learn how to create 3D models in StarCraft 2. They liked modders. They encouraged modders. They encouraged modding. They encouraged the arcade. Modern day Blizzard is not the same. When StarCraft 2 was created, when it first came out, was when Blizzard was one company. And by the time they had finished making Nova Covert Ops, that was another company. And we know that because of their attitude. So for example, did you know that the Nova Covert Ops missions are actually locked inside a portion of the StarCraft 2 data dependencies, where we can access the art and the 3D models, but we can't access the maps and we can't access the triggers, and we can't access the code? They've hidden them. They left every other campaign map ever able to be modded because they wanted people to turn them into the scenarios that were used by the co-op commanders. For those of you StarCraft 2 players out there, you know what the co-op commanders are. But for those of you who don't know what they are, they're essentially this set of changed skirmish factions that are made unique in their own way because they're given random campaign units, or they're given random banes and random boons. Banes, such as not being able to make infantry, such as Rory Swan, and boons, as in characters like Kerrigan are extremely strong. Banes like Zagara not having any more than 100 supply, but boons as in Zagara being able to make units almost instantly. And these co-op commanders were built to be used on the campaign maps, edited campaign maps that are made for both multiplayer and are made for the custom data, the campaign data. And we know that because if you don't use the campaign data in your map's dependencies, then you can't use any of the hybrid. So anytime that you saw the hybrid, or anytime you're using a mutator, or anytime that you're using anything to do with co-op commanders, you were using campaign data. It just was. In order to access the 3D models, it had to be. And these campaign maps turned into co-op commander maps. A lot of them originally were created by the community, and a lot of them were really liked and really fucking appreciated, and people were like, holy shit, co-op commanders are the greatest fucking thing ever. How could Blizzard go wrong? And Blizzard's answer was to say, oh, you know what? Since we lost Dota 2 to Valve, we're gonna lock all of the Nova covert ops missions. We're gonna threaten you with lawsuits and stuff if you keep making your own StarCraft 2 content, because your StarCraft 2 content is too good and hurts our feelings, and so rather than helping you keep making it, we've instead rather that you just go and buy Diablo Immortal and shut up and just fucking take it. And a lot of people stopped map editing for WarCraft 3. That's how it all ended. That was the end of map editing for WarCraft 3 for a little while, for a lot of the hardcore old originalists. They didn't want us making content for StarCraft 2 either. If you were of a certain political or geopolitical ideology, if you made too many nasty comments, they would come and they would say, hey, you can't use our assets. And that attitude was very different from what started when StarCraft 2 was new. Because when StarCraft 2 was new, they liked modders, they wanted modders. And by the time StarCraft 2 was old, their management had changed, their ideology had changed. They were using the StarCraft 2 engine to make Reforged, to make Diablo 3, to make Heroes of the Storm. And they decided they didn't want normal people having access to it. They didn't want people being able to make online playable content that didn't use their arcade. Partially so that people couldn't hack it and stuff, which, you know, even if you were willing to use the arcade, they still weren't very friendly with you. For example, if you wanted to increase the file size to be uploaded, the way my project does, because I use a massive art project, they won't increase your size beyond 318 megabytes. That's your StarCraft 2. Every StarCraft 2 account has an upload limit. The amount of maps that you're allowed to upload, the amount of file space, the amount of data, the amount of whatever. And that maximum is 315, I think. 315 megabytes. And a lot of people just fucking say that's not enough. And Blizzard doesn't care. Blizzard says, no, you don't get it anymore. You don't get any more upload space. I cheesed that by creating multiple accounts. So one of my accounts uploads my models, one of my accounts uploads my textures, one of my models uploads my icons, my gigantic collection of icons that is so big it needs its own account just for them. Because I really liked a lot of the Hive Workshop icons, and I really liked a lot of the StarCraft 2 custom icons, and so rather than having to choose between whose stuff I wanted to use, I decided I would use all of it. It turned out to be about 200 or so megabytes of icons, thousands of icons, something close to 4 or perhaps 5,000 icons. For those of you who don't know what icons are, icons in WarCraft 3 and in StarCraft 2 are the squares that go into the bottom. In StarCraft 2, they're the icons that you see in the UI. And they're called buttons in the data, but they use textures which are called icons. Buttons and textures are not the same. Buttons are like, for example, here you can see that these are buttons. They glow when you mouse over them. But that's not the same as the blue picture that they show here, because when you mouse off of it, you can still see that there's just a picture there. So the real difference between this picture and this picture is just a white glow, right? The white glow texture is a circle that they stretched into a rectangle. So when you mouse over it, it looks as though the whole center of the button, right? But that's because of a square piece of texture, taking a texture from something that is round and stretching it. The blue button texture underneath is a different texture. That texture is, by itself, it's just one texture. And it has written on it single player. And the reason it has to have that there is because if you change the language of the game in the options, then the local language section interprets the change and then changes this to another language. To do that, it has to change to a different texture. Because I was, at least in the old days, it did. It looks similar to this, so honestly, it doesn't look that different. There is a way, apparently, to turn on the original stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of options here. So you could use some things and not others. Right? So if you wanted to play WarCraft 3 looking like WarCraft 3, then you would flip these switches. Right? And that's really nice. That's actually a really nice... Like, I applaud them for that. Because I think that's kind of cool, right? God, those look like some of the things on the Hive Workshop. Indistinguishable. See, that's pretty cool, honestly. But that's a sign of StarCraft 2's engine. You can kind of see it in the grass. The grass doesn't change, see? Fascinating. Isn't that interesting? I think that's cool. I think that's pretty nice. Pretty epic. Some people's computers might prefer the classic. It might run better. That's another mistake they made when they were making Reforged. Rather than just using models that were medium poly counts, like we did back in the days when we were worried about upload space, they instead used these really, really high poly mesh things that are just almost too much. See that 3D positional audio? WarCraft 3 didn't have that originally. That's a StarCraft 2 thing. So, WarCraft 3 Reforged. Am I ready for this? Am I ready to be plunged into the madness? Are we going to see World of Warcraft Murlocs? Or are we going to see my Murloc, perhaps? The Deep Sea Murloc? Who knows? Who knows what Blizzard stole from the Hive Workshop? We know that they were. Custom campaigns. Unable to locate any custom campaigns. Save your custom campaigns into the following folder. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe they work now? You know, maybe they fixed it? I remember for a little while there was a function inside the StarCraft 2 editor called Convert WarCraft 3 map into StarCraft 2 map. I wonder if they ended up creating a Convert WarCraft 3 map into WarCraft 3 Reforged map button. I don't see rebuilding a whole campaign from scratch. No content creator is going to do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm a hardcore WarCraft 3 super fan. I wouldn't do that. It's unreasonable to expect anyone to be like, oh, we need you to recreate your entire custom campaign from complete scratch. And I bet you that's what people thought at the start, because when everything stopped working and broke, that really upset a lot of people. I know it upset a lot of people because it got a whole channel created to it called WarCraft 3 Refunded. WarCraft 3 Refunded is a kind of movement all by its own, created by the WarCraft 3 community that was pissed off by the Reforged project. There was a lot of bad blood there. People that spent 15 plus years making their projects, finding that they were unable to open any of them, finding that not only had they closed down the original WarCraft 3 Classic servers, but they had also lost all of the ladder information, lost all of the campaigns. People that opened the maps, tried to import custom models that were made for WarCraft 3, couldn't use them. People like that were map editors would see that and would immediately just leave the game, leave the chat. Like, I totally get it. The bad blood was really strong. The bad blood was so bad that it actually upset people enough to go off and create their own video games. That's how mad they were. Look at all the video games that got created after Reforged, you know? Age of Darkness, They Are Billions, like all that shit. All that shit came after WarCraft 3. WarCraft 3 is like one of the major first ever 3D RTS games. And when I played this, The Exodus of the Horde, this was released in the alpha. And the alpha was quite nuts. That's interesting. So originally there were only two difficulties, normal and hard. Only choose hard if you are a WarCraft 3 veteran. I'd say I'm a WarCraft 3 veteran. I know a lot of builds. I know a lot of stuff. Oh boy, here we go, brothers. What are we doing? We're getting into a whole...
The sands of time have run out, son of Duratan. The cries of war echo upon the winds. The remnants of the past scar the land. Which is besieged once again by conflict.
arise to challenge fate and lead their brethren to battle. As mortal armies rush blindly towards their doom, the burning shadow comes to consume us all. You must rally the Horde and lead your people to their destiny.
Holy shit, Briss.
Seek me out.
Chapter 1, Chasing Visions. Somewhere in the Arathi Highlands, Thrall, the young war chief of the Orcish Horde, awakes from his troubling dream. Press any key to continue. Does that look familiar from StarCraft 2?
What kind of nightmare was that?
It was not a nightmare, young war chief, but a vision. Follow me, and I will reveal what your future holds.
I don't know what this is all about, but I'll play along.
20 years of World of Warcraft later. Main quest, find the prophet.
Excellent. You seem eager to be on your way. However, you must first learn how to give orders to Thrall. Try ordering Thrall to move down the path towards the nearby banner. To do this, click the Move button in the bottom right corner of your screen and then click on the banner.
No, brothers. Never obey the narrator. The narrator is always lying or trying to trick you into missing the loot. Oh wow, look at that deer. That's such a good model. Oh, frames.
Let's get on with it.
Oh, you can zoom farther out now than normal.
Dabu.
But my screen lags when I do.
Yes.
Okay.
For honor.
Why can I not
Dabu.
pay through there?
Yes. For honor.
Okay.
The
Skillfully
spirits.
done. However, the orc encampment is still far off. In order to reach the next banner,
Yes.
very good. The path to the next banner leads through a black area. This black area represents terrain that has not been discovered yet.
Dabu.
Notice how the black area shrinks as Thrall moves through it. This reflects areas you have explored.
The black area. Also known as the Fog of War, but it didn't get that name.
Dabu.
It just
Select
gets named
Thrall
the
in
black
order
area.
to move to the banner in the middle of the encampment.
For honor.
Look at your screen. I haven't moved 6 feet and I've already got a million fucking pieces of information. Why is my UI not to the crazy? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. See, show unit life bars? That's a StarCraft 2 thing. That didn't exist until StarCraft 2 came out. Team colored life bars, yep. Is there no way to change my team color either? Oh, HUD scale. There you go. That's what you want. Yeah, let's do that. Let's hurt their feelings. I had a lag spike just fucking mousing over show ping. Why not? That's another StarCraft 2 thing. Ah, see? That's another StarCraft 2 thing. Interesting.
For honor. Loktar, my warriors.
We are yours to command, War Chief.
Now that your troops are all selected, order them to move to the next banner.
None will survive. Loknarosh. Your time has come. For Doomhammer.
Could have sworn one of them gave an item.
Dabu.
Guess not. We're never coming back. We don't care about those
the War
pigs.
Chief. Prepare yourselves. I sense a knoll ahead.
To order Thrall's forces to defeat this foul creature, select all of your troops, click on the attack button, and then click on the knoll.
Loknarosh. Yes, this was only a scout. But the knoll's camp lies just ahead.
The
Order your
gnolls.
troops to perform an aggressive attack move into the enemy encampment. To do this, select all of your troops, click the attack button, and then left-click on the ground in the middle of the gnoll camp.
The spirits are restless. Lokrigar Nogal. For Doomhammer!
Yeah. Classic. When I first played these levels, the game was still in alpha. It was called the WarCraft 3 Alpha. And it had leaked with only 4 missions.
Yes.
Oh, look at those frames.
For
27
honor.
frames, 32
Yes.
frames, 33 frames.
Dabu.
Dabu.
War Chief, we've discovered a group of Murloc raiders in the nearby river.
The Murlocs would make excellent targets for your new Chain Lightning spell. To have Thrall use his new ability, click on the Chain Lightning button and then left-click on one of the Murlocs.
Look at this mysterious waterfall that just sort of appears. Oh, it's just a high lake. If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't know any better. But to look at that. Wow, those frames.
Let's get on with it.
Let's cheat. See what they've done over here. Nothing. Fascinating.
For honor. Yes, I am the War Chief. Your time has come. Let's get on.
Some
with it.
monsters drop treasure when they are defeated.
Yes.
This particular treasure chest contained a useful potion of mana. Notice that the potion now occupies one of Thrall's inventory slots near the bottom middle of your screen. Potions of mana can be used to replenish a hero's mana, the magic energies that allow the casting of spells such as Chain Lightning.
Yes, but we're going to need them for the other levels.
The wolf howl signifies that night has begun.
Be wary, my warriors. Don't let nightfall dull your senses.
Units cannot see as far at night as they can during the day.
Yes. Ndabu.
Any loot?
For honor.
I must be missing tons of loot, right? WarCraft 3 loves loot. Loot is like a
Ndabu.
huge thing.
For honor. Yes. Yes.
I must be missing tons of loot.
For honor. Ndabu. An ogre. We'd have a fierce battle on our hands if the beast weren't sleeping. None will survive. The spirits are restless.
That's right, he shakes his hammer at them, and then orbs of lightning just
Yes.
fling into your face, and then you die.
Ndabu.
That's who he is. That's his life. The number of orbs that he
For
throws.
honor.
He throws a lot of orbs, brothers.
Yes.
Oh my
For
god,
honor.
20 frames.
Ndabu.
I feel like I'm playing Barotrauma on my potato.
Yes.
You realize this
For
computer's
honor.
state of the art? It's like a
Ndabu.
super hardcore ASUS
Yes.
gaming laptop.
Ndabu.
Can run StarCraft 2 on max graphics,
For honor.
but it can't run WarCraft 3 Reforged max graphics. Find the profit. No more loot.
Greetings, son of Duratan. I knew you'd find your way.
It was you I saw in the vision. Who are you? How do you know me?
I know many things, young war chief, about you and your people. My identity at this
Notice the
time is
lips?
unimportant. What is important
Notice
is that
his
you
lips are
rally
moving?
your people and leave these
That's a
shores
StarCraft 2
immediately.
thing.
Leave. What's this all about, human?
Human? I left my humanity behind long ago. I am something different now. Know that I have seen the future and beheld the great burning shadow that is coming to consume this world. You sense it as well, don't you?
The demons are returning.
Yes, and only by leading your people across the sea to the distant lands of Kalimdor will you have a chance to stand against them.
But how can we...
I will answer all of your questions in time, young war chief. For now, rally your warriors and prepare to leave this land. We will speak again.
None of this makes sense. But the spirits tell me that I should trust him.
Insert meme picture right there. The spirits tell me that I can trust him. Continue. And there you have it. That's the tutorial level. When you press that button before, it would tell you to play that as well. Interesting. Chasing visions. Oh, drop in the frames. Whoop, Chapter 2, Departures, 3 days later, near the Lordaeron coast.
It's been 3 days and this prophet has yet to show himself. I hope I'm not making a huge mistake by trusting him.
War Chief, the clans are assembling as you ordered, but it will take them some time to reach us.
Then we must prepare this camp immediately. I want my warriors to have food and proper lodgings when they arrive.
Yes, War Chief.
Warrior, Has there been any word from Hellscream? He and the Warsong clan were supposed to have been here by now.
No, War Chief. We haven't heard from Hellscream in some time.
Damn it, Hellscream. Where the hell are you?
Oh, brothers.
Lokrigar Nogal.
The blinking button at the top of the screen indicates that your quest journal has been updated. To find out more about your objectives, click on the quest button.
Establish a base. Build a burrow. Build a war mill. Build a barracks. Train 5 grunts. The Orcish horde will be arriving soon. This camp must be prepared for their arrival. Undiscovered quest.
I am the
Once a
War-
peon has been ordered to harvest gold, you will automatically travel back and forth between the gold mine and your closest great hall. Here are a few additional peons. To increase the rate of gold collection, order them to harvest from the same gold. The amount of gold that you currently possess is displayed in the upper right portion of your screen. As
I
peons
am
return to
the
your great
War
hall with
Chief.
gold, your gold
Yes.
stockpile increases.
For honor.
You have just placed a rally point for your structure. Whenever a unit finishes training from this building, he will automatically travel to the rally point's location. To place a rally point, select one of your unit-producing structures and right-click on the ground where you want the rally point to appear.
Okie dokie. Yes.
Look at that, the worker count.
Training a unit takes time. When your great hall is selected, you can see a progress indicator in the bottom middle portion of your screen.
Ready to work.
In order to support a larger population, additional orc burrows will have to be constructed. Burrows provide the food that allows you to train
Let's
more
get
troops.
on with it.
To construct a burrow, select one of your peons. To increase the rate of which you collect lumber, train additional peons and assign them to harvest from the forest.
Ready to work. Something need doing.
Now, click on the Build Structure button in the command card.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Notice that additional buttons are now available on the command card. To construct an orc burrow, click on the Build Orc Burrow button.
What do you want? Work complete. Be happy to.
I know how to play orc. I had about 1,200 games as orc.
Ready to
Now that
work.
your barracks is complete, you can begin training grunts to reinforce your army. To train a grunt, first select your barracks. Continue producing grunts until you reach your quest requirement.
The spirits are restless. Work complete. Ready to work.
War mills contain various upgrades that can be researched to improve your troops. To see what upgrades are available, select your war mill.
Work.
You know, I think I'd rather a
My life
second
for
war
the
mill.
Horde. I can do that. Ready to work. Something need doing. Work complete. Yes.
What you want?
Now that your burrow has been completed, the peon who built it can be assigned to a new task.
Ready to work. Build there. Work. I can do that. Okie dokie.
All available upgrades appear as buttons.
Master, let's get on with it. The spirits
Ready to
are
work.
restless.
Something need doing?
Okie dokie.
What do you want? I
You
can
put
work
your
complete.
burrows near your peons because your burrows can pull your peons into them to gain a powerful attack.
Work complete. Research complete.
They're only giving us tier 1. Oh, that's sad.
I am the war chief.
I am
Yes.
the war chief.
For honor. Dabu. Dabu.
Oh, I have these random watchtowers.
Lokrigar Nogal. Yes. For honor.
Huh? Dabu. Work complete. Work complete. Be happy to. Work, work. Work, work. What do you want? Okie dokie. Be happy to. Research something need doing? My life for the Horde. Yes?
Let's get on with it. Dabu. I am the war chief.
For Doomhammer! My life for the Horde.
For honor. Yes. The spirits are
What you
restless.
want? My life for the Horde. Master, time for killing.
You orcs are in violation of the Alliance Internment Act. We've already captured one of your leaders. If you surrender now, we'll spare your lives.
War Chief, they say they've captured one of our leaders. Maybe they're referring to Hellscream.
I hope not. But if they have captured Hellscream, I'll make them regret it. Loktar Ogar! Come, my warriors! We must drive the humans back!
We're under attack! Yes,
Oh crap.
I can do that.
Lokrigar Nogal. Yes. Your time has come.
Our town is under attack! Yes. Work, work.
The spirits are restless.
No loot. They must have
For honor.
not put the triggers back for that.
Our town is under attack! My life for the Horde.
I don't really care about
I
these
am
turrets.
the
I would
war
rather
chief.
just not take damage.
Lokrigar Nogal. Dabu.
I'll fight it this one. Why not?
Ready to work.
Let's get on with it.
Our town is under attack! Something need doing? I can do that.
Let's get on with it. Yes. Dabu. The spirits are restless. Lokrigar Nogal.
The wretched humans have been destroyed.
Move Thrall and the
I
rest of your
am
forces
the
across the
Warchief.
bridge, such as the one located here.
Whoa, that was weird. Like it tried to move my
My
screen.
life for the Horde.
Dabu.
Oh, look at that. You can turn formation
For
off,
honor. Yes.
and they still kind of obey it.
What do you want?
Can we not build watchtowers?
Something you're
Oh,
doing?
painful. Thought we could.
The spirits are restless. Dabu.
Loknarosh! Work complete. What do you want? Build more burrows. What do you want?
Oh, snap. We can't build any more burrows.
Yes.
The fuck?
Something need doing?
Oh, there it is. God, I'm stupid. Alright.
Be happy to.
I was blind.
Okie dokie.
But now I
My
see.
life for the Horde. Can't build there. I can do that.
I'm not smart enough
Yes.
to recognize the icon.
Work, work. Be happy to.
Let's get on with it. Yes. For honor. Dabu. For honor. Yes. I am the war chief.
The StarCraft 2 sheep.
Lokrigar no
Work
Gal.
complete.
Dabu.
Work complete.
Lokrigar no Gal. For honor. Yes.
Yes. Work
The
complete.
spirits are restless. Yes. Dabu.
Work complete.
For honor.
Work complete.
I am the war chief. Yes.
Master?
Let's get on with it.
Your army has grown to such a large size that it now requires a portion of your
Lokrigar
income
no
to sustain
Gal.
it. This maintenance
I
cost is
am
referred
the war
to as
chief.
upkeep.
Dabu. For honor. For honor. Yes. Dabu. Dabu.
My life for the Horde.
Yes. The spirits are restless. None will survive. How can I help? Let's get on with it. For honor. For honor.
Yes. We're under attack. Yes. Zug zug. What do you want? Master?
The spirits are restless.
My life for the Horde.
Dabu. Direct me.
When you control multiple spellcasters at the same
Lokrigar
time,
no
it
Gal.
often becomes necessary to quickly switch between them to cast
Yes,
their
War
individual
Chief.
spells. By using the subgroup interface,
Right,
you
oh
can
my
do so
life
without
for
having
the
to try
Horde.
to select them individually.
Yes.
My life
Notice
for
that the currently
Horde.
selected units are displayed in the
How
bottom
can I
middle
help?
portion of your
I
screen
am
by little
the war
portraits.
chief.
One of the unit portraits is highlighted with a yellow glow.
Direct
This
me.
means that it is the
Loktar.
currently activated subgroup.
Swobu.
You can
Zug
switch
zug.
between subgroups by
Double.
pressing the tab key or left-clicking on
Time
one of
to
the portraits that is
die.
not
What?
highlighted. This activates that subgroup and displays
Yes,
their
War
spells in your
Chief.
command card.
Feel the ground tremble.
Direct me.
Master? Dabu. Swobu. Loktar.
I
That's
am
right, and it's
the
similar
war
to
chief.
StarCraft 2.
Yes,
You
War
can
Chief.
press what's called the tab key to swap between the types.
Let's get on
Yes,
with it.
Master?
Lokrigar
How
no
can I
Gal.
help?
The spirits are restless. Lokrigar no Gal. Let's get on with it.
How can I help?
The spirits are restless.
Loknaros.
Direct me. I am the war chief. Let's get on with
War
it.
Chief.
Lokrigar Nogal.
A wise plan.
What you want?
My
The
life for
spirits
the
are
Horde.
restless. Yes. For Doomhammer!
My life for the Horde.
Sub. I am
Yes,
the
War
war chief.
Chief. Direct me.
What you want? Lokrigar Nogal. Huh? Time to die.
Who doesn't
Loktar.
like killing crates in Warcraft 3?
Swobu.
Crates are a big deal.
Dabu. Zug.
Some crates drop some of the nicest stuff.
Chief.
How can I help?
The spirits are restless. Yes. My life power. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with
Yes.
it.
For the Horde.
Master. The spirits
War
are
Chief.
restless.
How can I help?
Alright. I think we got enough.
My life
can
for
do
the
that.
Units?
Horde. My
Yes,
life
for the
What
Horde.
you want? I am the war chief.
Direct
Master.
me.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Yes. Understood. Understood.
Gotta say, they're being stingy on the loot. I guess
the
it's just the
Horde.
prologues.
A wise plan.
Lokrigar
How can I help?
Nogal. Huh? War chief, we've found where they're holding Hellscream, but the area is protected by fortified guard towers. Then destroy them. Hellscream must be freed. Let's get on
Yes,
with
War
it.
Chief.
What you want? We're under attack! I am the war
Direct me.
Master, the spirits are restless. Lokrigar Nogal. For honor. Your time has come. Huh? Yes? Master? The spirits are restless. Dabu. Hellscream, are you all right?
I'm fine, little brother. Luckily, they only injured my pride.
Great, because we're getting out of here now. We're leaving the human lands for good.
Finally, follow me. I have an idea. We can set sail on the humans' own ships.
Perfect. But we'll need to wait for the rest of the Horde. The Horde is assembled, War Chief. We await only your command.
Now, go, young thrall. Sail west to the lands of Kalimdor. It is there that you will find your destiny. It is there that your people's salvation will be assured.
Yeah, but look at the quality of those ships. Holy jeez. That's like Warlords of Draenor type quality right there. Don't you see it? Don't you feel it? Alright. The Exodus of the Horde, the prologue campaign. Chapter 3, Riders on the Storm. As Thrall and his companions set out for Kalimdor in their fleet of stolen ships, HD ships, they are beset in the open seas by a sudden, fierce storm. To prevent the ships from taking a heavy pounding, Thrall orders the fleet to seek shelter in the cove of a nearby remote island.
It was lucky we happened onto this cove. I don't think our ships would have held out much longer in that storm.
War Chief, half of the ships are missing, and the rest are badly damaged.
We'd better get settled then. We may be on this island for a while.
War Chief, I sense strange magic all around us.
There's the source of your magic. Someone is watching us.
It is you. I saw your arrival in a vision, especially you, the seer. Or is it just my old mind playing tricks on me?
Looks like this troll's been on the island a little too long. We're real enough, old one. My name is Thrall.
I be Sen'jin, leader of the trolls. This island used to be ours alone, but no more. You and your friends must be careful. The humans established an outpost on this island some time ago.
Humans?
Yes, they hound us day and night. Their patrols be all over the place. Not be long till they find you too.
Well, I'd rather find them first. We can't risk their patrols alerting the outpost about us. Loktar, my brothers. We're moving out.
Good luck, my friend. I got important matters to tend to, but I be seeing you soon.
I totally forgot about the trolls. How do you forget about headhunters?
Anything you want, direct me.
Let's get on with it.
Where you want me to go?
I am the War Chief.
Oh boy. Destroy the human
Ready
outpost.
to work.
I am the War Chief.
So once you can make headhunters... Oh wow.
Yes.
Life gets a lot easier
Okie dokie.
and safer.
Ready to work. Be happy to. Something need doing? Work. Ready to work.
You kind of want one
What do you want?
headhunter for every one grunt. That's kind of a healthy number.
Work.
Or at least... Actually, in reality, you really want like 3 headhunters for every
Ready
one
to work.
grunt when you're playing PvP.
What do you want?
You're supposed to be able to micro your trolls around.
My life for the Horde. Be happy to. What you want? Time for killing.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Work complete. Ready to work. Something need doing?
Yeah, we're fighting a fairly large
Work
base, and
complete.
we're fighting sorcerers, so we kind of
Work
want to worry.
complete. Yes. We're under attack. Ready to work.
Are restless.
Need something? Huh? Yes. What you want?
Who you want me to kill?
Yes, chieftain. Ready to work, master. Say the word.
What you want me to do?
Yes, war chief.
Let's
Work
get on.
complete.
Who you want me to kill? The spirits are restless.
Huh? Something need doing? What do you want? Yes, I can do that. Okie dokie. Master? Dabu. Yes? Yes, chieftain. Ready to work. That's right. Yes? What do you want?
Send out your war riders.
Be happy to. Ready to work. Okie dokie. My life for the Horde. What you want? Huh? Loktar. Ready to work. Something need doing? Work complete. Yes. I can do that. Master? My life for the Horde. I am the War Chief. Yes? Dabu. Loktar. Zugzug. Huh? What you want? Ready to work. Something need doing? Work complete.
What?
What do you want? Yes?
I wasn't sure what
My life
the
for
waves would
Horde.
be. I guess they're nothing.
Yes. Work complete. Work. What do you want? Be happy to. We're under attack! Let's get on with it. Huh? Swobo. Lokrigar, no god. For Doom Hammer! What you want me to do? Castingo! What do you want? Yes? Loktar. The spirits are restless. What you want? Huh? Zugzug.
Wow, look at that crane and the walls. Looks so cool. Oh, my frames.
Work complete. Huh? Okie dokie. Master? Dabu. Something need doing? Where she want me go? Lokrigar Nogal. Dabu. For honor. Yes.
I recognize that doodad from
Work complete.
StarCraft 2. That mesh.
Huh? Yes. Upgrade complete. I can research complete. Let's get on with it. Yes? Yes, War Chief. I am the War Chief. Say the word.
The Island Trolls. Made famous by the troll
Spirits are restless.
island tribors. Oh, that's interesting. We get demolishers instead of catapults.
What do you want? Swobo. Let's get on with it. Yes. Work. Something need doing? Work complete. I can do that. Build more burrows.
I am the war chief. Lokrigar Nogal. The spirits are restless.
What you want me to do?
Let's get on with it.
What you want me go?
Lokrigar Nogal.
My life for the Horde.
I am the war chief. I am the war chief. The spirits are restless.
Gotta be careful with the catapults.
How can I help?
They'll destroy the items
Who you want me kill?
when they hit the ground near them.
Lokrigar Nogal. For honor.
Research complete.
None will survive.
Master? Yes? Need something?
I am the war chief. Ndabu. Yes. Let's get on with it. The spirits are restless. Lokrigar Nogal.
Master? Time to die.
Lokrigar
What do you
Nogal.
want?
Let's get on with it. I am
Master?
the war chief.
Yes?
The
What
spirits
do you want?
are
Where you
restless.
want me go? Huh? Who you want me kill? Loktar.
Lokrigar.
Yes?
The spirits are restless.
Loknaro.
I am
What you want?
the war chief. Ndabu. Let's get on with it.
Your insolence astounds me. You ignorant brutes shall only succeed in dying.
I am the war chief. Let's get on with it.
Your time has come. Yes?
The spirits are restless.
Master? Master?
Lokrigar Nogal.
Not a blizzard there.
I am the war chief. The
What do you
spirits
want?
are restless.
Hey, it's the orcs who stole the ships from the mainland. Send for reinforcements.
Let's get on with it.
Huh?
I am
Yes?
the war chief. Let's
What
get
you
on
want?
with it.
Huh?
Lokrigar Nogal.
Master?
The spirits are restless.
Why? Don't mess with the bad guy.
Lokrigar Nogal. The spirits are restless. I am the war chief.
Huh?
Let's get
Yes?
on with it.
Master?
I
What
am
you want?
the war chief.
Yes? What do you
Lokrigar
want?
Nogal.
Master? Dabu. Yes? So.
Let's get on with it. The
Master?
spirits are restless.
What you want?
I am
Yes?
the war chief.
What do you want?
Lokrigar Nogal. Say the word.
Yes, chieftain.
The spirits are restless.
Master?
Let's
What
get
do you
on
want?
with it.
Yes?
These vents are active. The island's volcano may not stay dormant for long.
The spirits
Master?
are restless.
Time for killing.
Let's get on with it. Dabu. Yes.
What you want me to do?
I am the war chief. For honor. Yes.
Inventory is full.
Lokrigar Nogal. For honor. Dabu.
Huh?
I am
What do you
war
want?
chief.
What do you want?
The spirits
Inventory is full.
for honor.
Huh? We're under attack!
Let's get
Master?
on with it. Lokrigar
Yes.
Nogal.
Didn't even see these ogres.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Master?
Let's get on with it. Yes. Dabu.
Huh?
I am
you want?
the war chief.
Yeah, we have to prepare for the Murlocs.
The spirits are restless.
What you want?
Let's get
Huh?
on with it. I am the war chief.
Hello again, Outlanders. These ingredients be exactly what I need. Now our warriors can heal themselves. Let me give you a little something for the trouble. These wards contain healing magic. No doubt you'll find them useful.
Lokrigar Nogal. The spirits are restless.
Master? Yes?
Lokrigar Nogal. Yes. The spirits are restless.
Master? Yes, War Chief.
Why? For honor.
What you want me do? Where you want me go?
Let's get on with it. I am the war chief. Dabu. Yes.
I must have missed that. Must have been able to go to that fountain, and instead I just went up there like an idiot.
Work. What do you want? Be happy to. Yes. Okie dokie. My life for
The
the Horde.
spirits are restless.
What you want? My life for the Horde. Yes.
Let's get on with it.
Alright, is there any other loot? Maybe.
Lokrigar Nogal.
I love that little orc crane. So cool.
We're under attack.
I am the war chief.
My life for the Horde. My life for the Horde. Zug, yes.
Damn it.
Research complete. Time for killing.
Your feeble attacks are fruitless. Why don't you just give up?
Work complete. Work complete.
No, or I could double down.
The spirits are restless.
My life for the Horde. Master?
Yes.
Sure lost a lot of trolls.
Let's get on with it.
My life for the earth and fire. Master, heed my call. How can I help? My life for the Horde. Direct me.
Let's get on with it.
Look, Darrow!
The spirits are restless. I am the war chief. For honor. Dabu. Lokrigar Nogal.
Storm, earth, and fire. Heed my call.
Your time has come.
What do you want?
I am the war chief. None will survive.
How can I help? Yes? Storm, earth, and fire. Heed my call. Yes, War
The
Chief.
spirits are restless.
Yes?
Lokrigar Nogal.
Direct me.
Let's get on
Direct right
with it.
away.
Can he knock it out? That's immaculate.
The spirits are restless.
Yes?
Dabu. Yes. For
How can
honor.
I help? Right away. Yes, War Chief. A wise plan. Yes?
Let's get on with it.
Yes, War Chief.
I am
Direct
the
me.
war chief.
Work. Something need doing? I can do that. What do you want? Okie dokie. Be happy to. Be happy to. How can I help?
The spirits
Yes.
are restless.
Lightning.
Let's get on with it.
Yes, War Chief. Direct me. Research complete. Power to the Horde. Master? Yes? How can I help?
I
How
am
can I
the
help?
war chief. I am
Yes,
the
War
war
Chief.
chief. The spirits
Direct
are
me.
restless. Let's get on with it.
Yes.
Nogal. For honor.
Look, Darrow!
Yes.
Yes. Our town is under
For
attack.
honor.
Something need doing? I can do that. Okie dokie.
Let's get on with it. Yes.
How can I help?
The spirits are restless. Dabu. Lokrigar.
Direct me.
I am
Yes, War Chief. I am
Direct me.
the War Chief.
What you want?
Lokrigar Nogal. For
Yes,
honor.
War Chief.
Yet you notice how it says heavy instead of fortified? Like normal buildings? Yeah. It's actually an advantage because it does not take more damage from a building.
Yes.
And it make nearly enough towers to be able to hold this. Should I actually get attacked?
Work.
It's a sick profile picture.
Let's get on with it.
He will win eventually. Sick. Yeah, originally in the prologue, demolishers didn't exist. It was catapults that you had.
The spirits are restless.
But there could be loot. What about over here?
Work complete.
That's definitely loot.
Lokrigar
Yes.
Nogal. What do you want? What do you want? I can do that. Huh? Okie dokie. Something you're doing? Be happy to, yes. Let's get
How
on
can
with
I
it.
help?
I am
Understood.
the War Chief. I am
For the
War
Horde.
Chief. The spirits
War
are
Chief.
restless.
Direct
Lokrigar
me.
Nogal. Let's get on with
Yes.
it.
Huh? Yes. Time to die. What you want, Dabu?
The spirits are restless.
How can I help? Huh? Swobu.
Let's get on with it.
What you want?
Our town
is under attack.
The War Chief.
We're under attack.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Yes. Work. Something you doing? I can do that.
Lokrigar Nogal. I am
Yes.
the War Chief.
We're under attack. Research complete. War Chief. Direct me. Yes. Loktar. How can I help? Yes. We're
The
under
spirits
attack.
are restless.
Master?
Let's get on with it. The spirits are restless.
Master? Zugzug.
I am the War Chief.
Direct me. We're under attack.
Let's get
How
on
can
with
I
it.
help? What you want? Yes, War Chief. Right away. Yes. Swobu.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Dabu.
None will survive.
How can I help? Research complete. Understood.
I am the war chief.
What do you want? Our gold mine is running low. Yes? Master? Dabu.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Huh? What you want?
Ready to
Dabu.
work.
Huh? What you want? Swobu.
The spirits are
Master?
restless.
Zug-Zug.
Ready to work. Be happy to. Ready to
Let's
work.
get on with it. Who you want me kill?
Yes.
Who you want me kill? Yes.
Yes.
The spirits
Ready
are
to work.
restless. Ready to work.
Our town is under attack.
Let's get on with it.
Direct me.
I am the war chief.
We're under attack.
Lokrigar Nogal.
Your time has come.
For honor.
For Doomhammer. Research complete.
Work.
What do you want?
What? You've been logged out of Valnet.
Yes.
You're too
War Chief.
AFK. Alright. What am I missing?
The spirits are restless.
Oh.
Lokrigar Nogal. Yes.
Yes. Our gold mine has collapsed. Yes, War Chief.
I am the war chief.
Yes.
Let's get on with
Direct me. Huh? Loktar. Dabu.
This one rock
Loktar.
is fucking me.
Swobu.
That's some StarCraft 1 type shit right there.
Zug-Zug. Zug-Zug.
Let's get
How
on
can
with
I
it.
help? We're under attack.
Lokrigar
How can I help? What you want?
Something need doing? The spirits are restless.
Look now. Yes.
I am the war chief. Dabu.
Yes.
Lokrigar
War Chief.
Nogal.
Yes. Yes.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Be happy to. I can do that.
Can't build there.
Work. Let's get on with it.
Direct me.
The
How can
spirits
I
are
help?
restless. Dabu. For honor. Yes. Dabu. I am the
Yes,
war chief.
War Chief. Master? Loktar. Dabu. Swobu. Who you want me kill? Why? Where she want me go? What she want me do? Yes.
Alright, I think that's all the secrets.
I am the war chief. The spirits are restless. Let's get on with it. For honor.
We're under attack!
How can I help?
Work complete!
Work complete! Work complete!
Doom hammer!
Work complete! Work complete! Yes, War Chief. Work complete! Let's get on with it. Work complete! Complete! Work complete! The spirits are restless.
Something you're doing? Under attack!
Be happy to.
Yes? What a horde!
Direct me. I am the War Chief. Let's get on with it. How can I help? Watch your backs! This battle's not over yet!
Holy shit.
The fish creatures have come to take us away.
Your meddling magics will no longer interfere with our plans, Land Dweller.
Holy crap, those Murlocs look badass. There they are. That's what I always wanted. Badass Murlocs. You have been disconnected from battle. Well, I feel like that's perfect of a place to end this one on. The controversy continues. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you will enjoy this series. This series is another close series, another dear to my heart series. So I will be pouring my heart into it. If you wanted to watch a faster Let's Play, you'd probably prefer Giant Grant games, but if you prefer the slugfest, if you prefer the micro, if you prefer the conservation of units, then maybe you too will enjoy this journey. And I will see you in the next episode, my friends. And thank you.